different today. We are still continuing on my 365 days of rediscovering creativity, but it is sort of our first fall autumn day here in San Francisco. It rained last night. It's a little cool today. It's going to be rainy and sunny. Perfect day for a walk. And I have tons of errands that I need to run. And one of my favorite things to do is to just go to a random neighborhood that isn't mine and sort of explore and get all my errands done there. And I thought, okay, so today's the perfect day for a walk. I need to go run my errands and I want to investigate my creativity. So we are going to do a scavenger hunt, basically a find and draw challenge. I don't know what made me think of this, but I really just thought, oh, that would be really fun for me to have to go out and kind of find things out in the wild and draw them. Because I used to, again, really love drawing. I've touched on it here and there. On this channel, I did a tiny bit, but I want to do more of it. But I didn't want to, take my sketchbook and go to the museum. There'll be days for that too, although it doesn't sound like a terrible idea, but there'll be days for that. But I wanted to do something quick and out in the wild. And so I did a quick little search for drawing scavenger hunts, and I found this lovely little message board for an artist's group. And clearly, I'll put a link for it below, but clearly the leader of the group posts basically a scavenger hunt and everyone goes and finds their things and then they post their drawings, and it just seemed so wholesome, but it seemed fun. So I sort of snagged the list for the posts that I found. I'm not going to do all of them because I think there was like 26 things on there, and I think if I'm actually going to get my errands done today, that would be too many. So I did steal 10. So what I'm going to do is instead of a sketchbook, I'm going to take these plain index cards, some pencils, and I'm just going to pop them in my bag, and we're going to walk and find and draw. And sort of the deal is I've got one index card, so I guess I've got 2 chances, but really I got to draw it in the moment, spontaneously, and just see how it comes out. My pencils are colored pencils, so that'll be a little added fun, but I want it to be spontaneous and I want it to be very much freehand, and I don't want it to be any pressure. So the items on my list that I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for something that makes a sound, a plant, a storefront, something above eye level, something full, something empty, something broken, something beginning with a P, an animal, free space, and if I get all those done, and a little extra credit, a label. So I'm going to be doing these, throughout me also getting all of my errands done. There's also some bookstores that I realized I want to pop into, and some, shops that I want to see. I also need to grab some lunch. So I'm going to grab my umbrella, I'm going to grab my supplies, and we're going to head out and have a fantastically lovely, chilly autumn walk and draw. You ready? Let's go. It did drizzle. It then got hot. It was crisp. It was so nice. And I got my little drawings. So my scavenger hunt, I had 10 items. I did realize when I got back home, I had forgotten one. The one is broken. I had totally planned on doing a drawing of the broken sidewalk because we have so many trees here and the roots tend to break up the sidewalk a little bit. And I was like, oh, I'll just do one of those. And I kept thinking it, and then I just completely spaced on doing it. So I did do my extra credit, so I did get 10, but wasn't really the point about finishing. I have my lovely little drawings here. The colored pencils may not have been the most successful of choices. You can barely see the yellow, but it was, having a finished project that is like hanging up on the wall worthy was not the point. The point was just to have fun. And I realized while I was doing it that I was also being so much more intentional on my walk. I love a good cozy walk around a neighborhood. I loved popping into little shops, but I realized keeping sort of a list of things to be on the lookout for made me so much more in the moment in my walk. And I think that was just a wonderful little added benefit. So I hope you enjoyed this, cozy intro to fall. I'd love to know if you would ever, do something like this. It's just so easy and so simple and, free. We all love that these days. So if you are going to do this, I'd love to know what you're going to go be on the lookout for. If you wouldn't do this, I'd also love to know why. It was funny, so when I was trying the Play-Doh, someone did sort of slow their car and kind of look at me a little funny because I was on the corner at a very busy intersection, sort of next to a box of junk and a mailbox. It was very weird. But other than that, no one looked at me funny. I didn't have any issues with, me blocking anyone's way in the street. I do live in an urban area, but it was, a quiet-ish afternoon. I didn't film this outro yesterday because I did have to get home and do some client meetings, but it was such a great break in my day. I cannot recommend it enough. I realize I'm babbling a little bit because I genuinely just enjoyed it so much. So I'm gonna head out on my current day. I do have some new content coming up because a bunch of you are here new because I did a fashion video and you seem to love that. And I asked some, kind of what would you like to see me do next? And I am taking your advice. So I am going to provide a little bit more of that. You'll have to wait and see. That's coming up here in a week or two. So keep an eye out for that. Hit subscribe. Come hang out. And until I see you next, stay cozy, stay crispy, stay creative. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.